All right, so we got a couple more to go. And so this next one is, of course, to me and to anyone who's a believer, should be one of the biggest parts of all this. How you let this man go is by first talking to God and seeking guidance on how to proceed with the situation. All right. Now, this would automatically be on the list, but there's another reason why I felt like I had to dive into this even more. I had a situation recently, a woman who DM'd me, and I don't typically answer my DMs, so I don't want y'all to think like I'm just out here answering all these questions. However, sometimes something may happen. There's a moment where somebody catches me at the right time, because I'm usually not even always checking my DMs. But anyways, the point is, she DM'd a quick question, and she stated that, she had a good guy. She did not know what to tell him to let him go. And she was a spiritual woman. And I said, well, listen, one of the best and easiest things you could do, and I mean, I say easy, but one of the best things you could do is pray. And if in prayer, you can honestly say, God is telling you that you need to let go, that's what you tell that man. Now, does every man accept that? Of course not, because it depends on what that man's spiritual relationship is, and simply how attached is he to you. There's various things that can contribute to him trying to dismiss you saying that. But what I have found is that if the person is spiritual, that becomes a harder thing for them to push against. Now, again, don't just say it to say it. Don't just use God as some kind of shield if you didn't actually go to him and seek guidance. But if you did, and you can say that in a genuine way, then yes, I do believe that helps at least lower the pushback you will get. All right. So it will help in that regard. But of course, it helps in you finding more confidence and strength to do what needs to be done. When we're trying to navigate life on our own and through our own understanding, then a lot of different things will now start to become noise in our head. We'll start to now put weight on the opinions of friends or family, or we spoke to this person and they said this, or our own logic and reasoning. But what trumps all that is spiritual guidance. What trumps all that is listening to God. Let me say this. There's a lot of people that when they were in relationships that they should not have been in, and I asked them, did you pray and ask God if you should even be here? The answer is no. And the big reason why it's no is not because these people don't know about how to pray. It's because they were afraid to go to God and hear the no that he was going to tell them. Because in their spirit, they already knew this was not the right choice. But they wanted to convince themselves that it could be. They wanted to convince themselves it could work. So in order to make it easier for them to move forward with the wrong individual or the wrong situation, they just didn't pray about it at all. Because once you do, and once you have it in the back of your head that God's been telling you this ain't it, it becomes a lot harder to do it. It becomes a lot harder to ignore. Now, don't get me wrong. There's some people who heard they should walk away and remained for years. All right. But it helps in most cases to give you that extra kick in the butt that you need to do what is truly best. So now I want to give you two quick things, because you notice a lot of what I told you on how to let him go was about fortifying yourself, giving you the clarity that you need to do what's necessary, understanding why you need to walk away from this man. All right. However, there is a aspect of how to not just communicate this to him and tell him, but also how to strengthen yourself once you have walked away. So the two things we kind of already mentioned this, so we're just going to talk about it real fast, is again, be honest with him about how you're feeling. All right. Not just honest about the issues you've had with him. Because again, for example, if you just know, let me give a quick story. This is what hit me right now. I remember someone I knew who was in a relationship. They were in a relationship for maybe 5-7 years. Okay. And there was some on and off going on in there, but they were on the verge of getting married a couple times, to be honest. So, but it was always this idea of there's just these issues here, and if this can just be fixed, we'll be fine, right? So she ends up essentially giving the relationship a test run. When I say test run, meaning for a month they lived together, or a couple months they lived together, and during that time, the man did everything she said she was hoping he would do. She used the words, he was pretty much perfect during that time. However, she still felt like this isn't it. And so now that made it clear as day that this simply wasn't it. So the reason why I give you that story is because sometimes it's not about specific issues. And I know that's to some people, this is like, no, this is crazy, because then it gives people all kinds of just random reasons to walk away. Listen, if someone is searching for random reasons to walk away, let them go anyway. All right. Be happy. All right. And if it's you doing it, then all that's telling you is that you don't really want to be there, or you are not healthy enough to be there. So, and this goes back to number one. If it's about you not being healthy, you do need to be honest about that. But sometimes we just know this ain't it. It's not about what they didn't do. It's just not it. And we have to be honest that, you know what? It's just not here. You're a great person, but we're not the right fit. That's it really boils down to. Many times, many people are just not the right fit for each other. It has nothing to do with being bad people. But when you hold on longer than you're supposed to, or you get engaged and involved with someone that you shouldn't, then even good people turn bad. That's what a lot of people don't understand. These situations of this person doing this and that person doing that, this wasn't bad, toxic people coming into a relationship trying to be malicious. This were two people sometimes who may have been good people, but when you're not happy somewhere, that lack of happiness can turn toxic. All right? That feeling of neglect can turn toxic. These things can make bad people or contribute to good people making bad decisions. And so if we would just not drag things on that don't belong, we could eliminate causing more damage in the long run. But to get back to the point, be honest with the man, be clear, whatever the reason is, just speak your truth. And then the second thing to this is try to create a support system where you can. All right. And this is more so after you've walked away. This is where letting people know, at least one person, is good, because now you have someone that can help hold you accountable. So having that accountability partner is always a great thing in anything that we struggle with and we're trying to accomplish. All right. As well as that support system that can be there, someone that you can lean on, can assist you in those moments when you're feeling weak. All right. And when I say weak, when we're struggling, I don't want to use the word weak right now. When we're struggling and that we're having a hard time, because it's normal to miss someone, even if they're not best for you. It's normal to think, well, maybe I made the wrong decision, but you didn't. You did what was best. So having that support system will help. So when you can, whether that be a friend, a family member, whether that be going to a coach or therapist, whether that be joining a women's group, joining the membership program, whatever it is, it's going to help you. Do it. Because at the end of the day, the goal is for you to get to where you belong, to live your best life, and to receive all the blessings that God has for you. Hey, thank you for watching this video. Be sure to check this one out right here, and I'll see you there. Letting go isn't always easy, but for a lot of people, it's absolutely necessary. However, I understand that can be easier said than done. You may have experienced this, or you may be going through this now, or God forbid, you